going? Welcome to a tool that hopefully helps a couple of you guys out there. A lot of people having problems with good heat in their Jeep. So I have a 97 TJ, 175,000 miles. I've had it for about 5 years. I've done most of the work on this thing myself. I've had it in the past couple of years. Just to describe the problem. One, the heat's kind of just not really there. I've had it where it's worked really well, so I know what it should be. So the heat, I'm having a problem where I'm not able to really define it to go from the windshield to the middle to the floor. So obviously, a little bit of research will quickly talk about the blend doors. I defined that one of the blend door actuator arms, I should say, on the actual door is broken. I tried to fix that. That didn't go well. So hopefully that is all this ends up being. So here we are at the end of December in Wisconsin. It's a mild day. It's about 40. But this fall I tried to fix this. I didn't want to work on my heat in the winter. So I did a flush of the radiator, of the actual heater core. That didn't really yield any, not a lot of stuff came out. I've replaced the water pump twice, and the radiator and the hoses all kind of on separate occasions here in the last couple of years. Each of those times giving it a good fresh coolant. So the coolant I think is fine. It's topped off. The thermostat is operating, from what I can tell, appropriately. So I think a lot of those things are already checked off. So I ordered a new part that should repair the blend door, and so I'm waiting for that to come in today. I tracked it, should be here today. I'll kind of walk through that and show you, because I think there's a lot of poor information on there as far as which part fits where, and some of the reasons why these things have broken, and I have an idea on how I can maybe extend the life of this a little bit. So anyways, I'll take a look. Hopefully this will help, and hopefully I get everything working. So here we go. So there's more than one actual blend door, and so I might be using the wrong words, but I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. So for the heat selector, that's controlled right here. You can see I actually have that off. Now in 97, this is mechanical. I took this off. I'm pretty sure this is working okay. I think you guys can hear that. In newer models, I'm going to put a clip back on there, and obviously I have the kick panel off. In newer models, that's actually an electric driven motor, but that blend door, if I'm correct, will opt to put the incoming air through and over the heater core. So I was suspect of that. I think that's okay. When you put it in recirculating, that opens here. That's working fine. And the three actuators that we're going to be working on are underneath there. So all of those work. So I don't believe I have a problem with vacuum. That's one of the things that I've already looked underneath the dash, and or I should say in the engine compartment. There's some likely suspects for vacuum leaks, but the fact that the vacuum motors or vacuum actuators all seem to operate at full range, I don't think that I have a problem with a vacuum leak. I did replace this unit from another used Jeep recently, so I'm going to keep that kind of out there as a possibility or a possible problem. I don't think it is. Again, all of the actuators are moving, so I don't think that's a problem. I know a lot of people have problems with these switches. Here's a little tip. So if you still have this knob, the likelihood of it breaking is very high. I don't know if you can see that crack. So one of the things I did to try to keep mine working, little JB weld. Hopefully you can see that. I filled it. That'll keep this thing going. These things are impossible to find. I found that out the hard way. So anyways, that's one little trick you can do to kind of keep that thing going. So anyway, yeah, so that actuator I believe is okay. Again, the blend doors we're going to work on are going to be there. I'm going to take out the seat. That is, I've worked on this once. Again, I think I told you I tried to fix that. I tried to repair it. I don't think that worked. So to take the seat out is 4 bolts. I have on mine, it took 3 half-inch sockets, and then this is a T50. So I don't know if everyone's is like that, but the rear right corner was a Torx with the T50. So 4 bolts to take that out, pop out the back seat. It'll be a lot easier for me to lay down and get underneath there. I'm going to take this kick panel out too. I don't know if that'll help a whole lot, but we'll see. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have half doors with the soft top uppers and hard top. So when I bought this, it only had the soft top. I bought the hard top used off a guy in Illinois, knowing that I was kind of creating a little bit of a problem. So early TJs have a vent behind the rear glass, and then the later TJs had a vent in the rear gate. The fact that I have an early TJ truck, and I guess it'd be a late TJ top, I kind of created a little bit of a problem, the fact that there's no vent. So when you turn on the heat, you can watch the windows inflate, and I think that really restricts the volume, and I think it taxes the system. I was having problems with the actual switch failing over time. The resistor, those things go bad, whatever. So anyways, I've replaced that stuff. Everything's working fine. But what I do now is I actually just keep this open when I have the blower motor on. And I think it really gives a lot more volume, allows the system to work without taxing it at all. Again, the top fits fine. It doesn't bother me that much. But that's just kind of a weird scenario that may or may not be a problem for other people out there. So just got back. These are the little spring clips that I'll use. These are what hold the vacuum actuators onto the lever arm. So I picked these up at a local Ace. They're 20-some cents a piece. You can usually get these off and not have them break, but whatever. I've taken them off more than once, and I need to put a new one on the blend door on the right anyway. So anyways, Ace, hopefully you'll have what you need right there. Okay, so here's where some of the confusion, at least for me, was. So these are, I ordered these from, you can get these from any, I think, part supplier, but it's the brand name I found was Omix, whatever, OMIXADA, and there's 2 part numbers, and the problem was I couldn't find a good description as far as what was different from one to the next. So 17910.10 versus 0.02. I saw online where people would order one and it wasn't the right one, and so they ordered the other one, and that just takes too long. So I ordered them both. The 0.01, the description here is AC plenum door lever lower AC panel, 9701 Wrangler. This one is AC plenum door lever upper defroster door, and that's the O2 number. So we're going to get into it and find out which one I actually need and if they're actually different. So to keep these straight, I'm going to take this paint pen, and on the O1, I'm just going to put 1 paint dot on it. That'll keep me from getting these confused as I continue on here. Okay, so this is what I thought. This is what I expected. So a lot of people have seen these before. This part looks the same. They have the keyed ends, but it's this part that's going to be different. So you can see I have the arms in line here, and these are at 90 degrees of each other. One's actually longer than the other too. Didn't notice that. But that's the part that I think is going to make a big difference. People talk about having a hard time getting these out when they're broken. I think it's going to be because of this tab, and I suspect that slot is going to be keyed down in the when I go to replace this. Like I said, I try to repair mine by just putting a screw into it, but this is where the difference really lies in these two parts. Okay, so here's where it gets a little weird. So I suspect that the vacuum actuators are actually forcing these under load, either in both position, I don't know. So as a current super RC car nerd, one of the tricks that we did with a lot of the plastic parts back in the day when they were more brittle is to boil them. Don't know if this is going to work, don't know if that's going to actually help. It's going to be hard to actually know for sure. You know, maybe it only helps with some plastics. I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But what I'm going to do, got some boiling water here, literally boil the plastic parts, probably 10 minutes or so. Supposedly this helps relieve some stress from injection molding. I don't know. But again, this is something that I think could be interesting if, we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so parts are done boiling. I got the seats out, just took a couple minutes. I got the kick panel and the guard that's out behind there, and this is going to be next to impossible, but that, change my light here. That is where we're going to be going here in a minute. So this is the unit that I want to get out. That's the one that I've tried to fix once. Let's see here if I can pull it. This one right here, I've had this apart. There's a screw in there right now. So this is going to slide off this way. It's hard to see, but that's going to slide out. I'm going to disconnect that, and then I'm going to hopefully get that removed relatively easily. I have a fastener in there, and we'll see how that goes. You can see I broke the arm off here. You can also see where I tried to repair this. You won't see it, but there's a screw down in here where I tried to use a little bit of shoe goo. There's a little bit of the screw going through there. That might have actually helped. Anyway, I was able to pull this one out, so I'll match it up against the other one and see if we can get it back in. So here's the two new parts. You can see this is the 01 number designated with the dot. This is the part that I just took out, and you can tell just by the length that this is the right one. This one would be too long. The problem I had when I fixed this is that this would spin even after I put a fastener in there, and I even tried to use some shoe goo on there, but the idea of being able to get this clocked correctly and then fastened to the point where it doesn't move at all, I think is highly unlikely. So see if I can get this one in there and keep moving forward. Okay, so this is the piece. It only fit in one way. Snapped in. With the vacuum canister off the bayonet, I slid this on, slid it on the bayonet. Obviously I need to put the clip on there still, but you can see as I move it through all the different settings, all three are operating. So you can also see how hard it pulls on that one. Watch that. Right here. Boom. Look at that pull on it. I'm pretty sure that's why these things break. Anyway, this job I hope is done. We'll find out. The fact that I had that fastener in that blend door, it was moving a little bit, and that kind of describes the problem I was having. It was kind of working. But I think that the heat is going on the floor much better, and hopefully I help dissolve some of the problems trying to defer exactly which part you need to get to fix it. So was pretty easy, especially because I'd done it once before as far as taking the seat out and, you know, getting underneath there and whatever else. But all in all, hopefully this helps. See ya.